Good afternoon, good evening. I seem to have forgotten the morning. Good morning din sa lahat ng Ateneans out there watching the second episode of Blue Eagle 40 for this second semester. My name is Rico Olivares. Last week, as you all know, we had Kiefer Ravena on the first ep for the second sem. Etong second sem natin naman, yung sa second ep, we've got two sports for you, badminton and judo. So our guest sa badminton is none other than the MVP of the UAAP, Mr. Patrick Natividad. Patrick, welcome to the show.
Ay.
Medyo hindi siya makasalita kasi speeches pa rin kasi nag-champion tayo. Pang ilang championship na ba ng Ateneo sa badminton, Pawi?
I think this is the third for men's. Yeah, third for
Third
men's.
for men's. But
Yeah.
okay, let me ask you, I'm gonna backtrack a little bit. Pawi, you're from Lourdes, no, before going to Ateneo. Why did you choose Ateneo? Considering Ateneo is not do you choose on the basis of schooling and badminton or just simply badminton? Going from high school to college.
Para sa akin, schooling and badminton kasi nung brinota po sa amin ng parents ko na badminton is parang secondary pa rin to school. So maganda kung graduate kami sa magandang school pa.
Okay, so madali ba yung decision mamili ng Ateneo? And if it wasn't only Ateneo, what were your other choices?
Medyo mahirap na pumili rin kasi before may choice ako to go to UP and Ateneo. Pero eventually parang mas gusto ko talaga i-represent yung Ateneo dahil nandito rin yung mga teammates ko ganyan, and the coach.
You mentioned the coach. Let's talk about your coach, who is one of the most famous badminton players ever produced by the Philippines. Talk about your coach.
Well, sobrang scary siya sa training kasi
Si Coach Kenny Victor.
Coach Kenny.
Kenny.
That's his
Asuncion.
name. Medyo strict kasi siya, pero outside the training naman, okay naman siya. Pero basta gusto niya kasi every training, kailangan mag-focus lang tayo sa badminton. Then after that, okay, happy-go-lucky konti, ganyan.
Pero Pawi, that strictness also is because she is a world-class player, di ba?
Yeah.
So she expects no less than her students and her athletes to be the same, di ba?
Yes,
Ganun ba yan? O babalikan kita ngayon, sabi ng parents mo, dito ka magpunta rin ng Ateneo. Pero sila ba nag-influence sa'yo mag-pick up ng racket at maglaro ng badminton?
Nung bata kasi ako, mahilig na talaga ako sa takbo-takbo, ganyan, maharot ako. Pero syempre, first love, parang everyone dito sa Philippines gusto basketball. So, I tried it, but then hindi ako tumangkad ng time na yun. So, wala nang chance. Then, I took up tennis. Tapos, masyadong maliit ako for the racket. Then, parang ang bigat. So, then, badminton. So, eventually,
Sige nga,
badminton.
bakit? May height requirement ba? Ano ba height mo, Pawi?
5'7".
5'7". Sige, Pawi, tayo ka. Tayo ka. O, tatayo din ako, ha? I'm okay. Bordering on 5'11". Pawi, is height a factor in badminton?
Medyo may factor siya kasi mas malaking court coverage mo pagka mas matangkad ka compared dun sa smaller players.
Okay, sige. Maupo na tayo. Let me ask you, in this past tournament, did you go up against taller players and how did you fare? Kumusta yung laban mo sa kanila, yung mga mas matatangkad?
I played against one taller player lang naman.
Ano height niya kaya?
5'11 din siguro.
Sintangkad ko na.
Yeah.
Okay.
Siguro, nung mas slower yung turning, yung pag-turn nila eh. Since mas malaki yung, nila, yung parang kukunin nila space when they turn. So, yung smashes, mas faster, yung drives, mas faster. Although, yung reach nila kaya nang maabot yun. But then, to the other side, medyo mahirap mag-turn for them. And, syempre, if you drop your shots, parang they have to go down really low. Unlike me, I just lunge.
It's a lot quicker for you.
Quicker.
Right. Okay. I asked you about it no, in terms of influence in badminton. You said you tried out basketball. Sinubukan mo yon. Tapos, pero bakit nga? Ano yung, kasi as a sport, usually kung hindi basketball, sabi mo nga, tennis or nagpo-football, what about badminton attracted you to play it?
Siguro kasi it involves a lot of running. Tapos, nung time nga niya, I love to run nga. Tapos, siguro nagustuhan ko yung concept ng smash. Kasi pagka hindi nila nababalik yung smash, parang laking build up, hindi nila nababalik yung smash ko.
Siguro parang sa volleyball yun, pag
pag
sinaspike mo at
spike
hindi
mo,
nila madig, no?
parang-
Parang ganon. Okay, matanong kita. Sa a lot of people kasi are unaware about badminton as a UAP sport. No, alam nila nandun. Pero tell all Ateneans there as well as fans out there, how long is the season? How many play dates? Para ba siyang basketball na may first, second round? How long do you guys train also for this? Sige.
First yung sa schedules, it starts usually August, mid-August. Tapos it ends late September, depending on the number of games per week. Kasi only this year, we did a game on Wednesdays.
Okay.
Last year, only the weekends. So
Weekends
that
lang.
maraming audience.
Ano ibig sabihin? Mas marami bang nag-participate na teams this year?
No, kasi nagkaroon ng bagyo
I
mid-August,
see.
then
Okay.
na-delay pa siya lalo.
Okay. Pero ito, it's not a mandatory sport. So ilang schools ang lumalaban sa badminton?
8 pa rin.
8 pa rin. So parang okay. That's so very interesting. Lahat nakakalaban nyo talaga. Alright. Obviously, nag-champion ng Ateneo. What happened? Seeded ba tayo manalo this year? Ano yung kwento nitong season na to?
Mas pwede pa rin masabing seeded ang Ateneo since my brother and I is still here. Tapos yung brother ko last year is the number 119 boys under
Ano pangalan ng brother mo?
Justin Natividad.
Si Justin.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then mga bagong recruits, almost lahat naman sila nagko-quarters dun sa national tournament, yung P-Bars, Philippine Badminton Ranking
Yes.
System.
Di ba ginagawa yun dun sa may Robinson's Ermita,
Yeah.
pati yung ranking and
Yeah,
all
yeah.
that. Di ba?
Then, yun. So, medyo may parang mataas pa rin yung tingin sa Ateneo this season. Pero, at the same time, yung last 2 years MVP si Toby Gadi nawala
Yes.
sa team namin. Yun. So, medyo may setback din kahit paano.
Matanong kita doon about Toby. No? Si Toby is one of my students in Intro to Journ dito sa Ateneo. Number 1, gano'ng kalaking loss si Toby? Dahil hindi may eligibility pa siya. At number 2, yung dating player ni Coach Kenny na si Karen Velez na namatay very recently. Did it affect the team? So, 2 questions kay Toby muna at kay Karen Velez.
Yung regarding kay Toby, maybe at first we took it as a parang disadvantage, parang sayang kasi parang we consider him a 1 point kagad pagka sa UAAP. Kasi in the UAAP, we need to win at least 3 out of 5 games. 3 singles, 2 doubles.
Okay.
So out of those games, we need to win 3. So pagka nandun si Toby, usually we get 1 singles
Automatic
kagad.
na agad.
Yeah,
Okay.
usually. Then siguro sa start ng season, may parang sayang lang. But then Coach Kenny told us na why do we focus on the ones we can control? Parang,
Yes.
why don't we just train na lang, di ba? So, yun, parang mas pinush kami ni Coach Kenny, kami ng brother ko and the other rookies na mag-focus sa training. So, I went to Malaysia pa nga for 1 month
Wow.
before my school starts eh. So, yun, ako lang mag-isa ng time na yun.
Nako, parang ang hirap nun, di ba nakakalungkot?
Medyo, pero parang inisip ko, after naman ng UAAP, parang the sacrifices were worth it naman eh.
And they were worth it because you were named MVP pa. Congratulations.
Thank
Okay,
you.
yung kay Karen Velez. Several years ago, we did the Ateneo Sports Calendar, no? And Karen was one of the athletes that we featured on that calendar. She was high on everyone's list as a top athlete and she died very recently in a car accident. Yung mga, naabutan nyo ba siya sa team ng Ateneo at na-affect ba kayo? I know si Coach Kenny, affected siya dun sa pagkamatay niya dahil batang-bata pa tong si Karen.
Siguro sa Ateneo team, hindi ko siya naabutan. But then, dun sa club namin sa Asuncion Badminton Center, naabutan ko siya, nakatrain ko pa siya. Tapos, at some point, naging close din kami. So, medyo
Okay.
na-apektuhan ako. But, tapos, nisip ko lang siguro, i-offer ko na lang rin yung games ko for
Yun,
her. Parang
okay,
in a way.
okay. So, can you say naging inspirasyon din siya for the team to win this?
Well, personally, para sa akin, ako naging
Okay.
inspirasyon talaga siya. And siguro, baka masasabi ko rin na yung teammates ko rin, kahit pa paano.
You mentioned training at the Asuncion camp dito sa May San Juan. For fans out there, even Ateneans, do we have the facilities for badminton or do you need to train outside? Kasi tulad ng swimming team natin, marami kasi sa mga swimmers natin, nagtitrain din sa labas or sa mga clubs nila. Is it the same for badminton?
Mm, it's highly recommended that you train more because
Okay.
for me, badminton is a routine sport. Parang kailangan nyo ulit-ulitin, yung muscle memory, it has to be there. Parang, yung parang secondary na siya, parang ganun.
Okay.
Kasi yung movements, kailangan pino na.
Okay.
So, although marami kaming training sessions sa Ateneo,
Mhm.
MWF and Saturdays, I think kailangan ma-fill in pa rin yung Tuesday, Thursdays. So, Coach Kenny decided to give us more training. For example, I trained in Asuncion, so may morning trainings ako and afternoons every day so
Wow.
every day twice a day
Hectic
ako
ka.
nagte-training.
O sige, susundutin ko yung sagot mo yan ha. Mahirap ba maging student athlete? Paano, with all your training and then the competition, paano mo nababalanse yan dun sa pag-aaral? Lalo na sabi mo yung parents mo, importante din yon. Mahirap ba?
Mahirap kung mahirap talaga, pero kailangan lang talaga maayos yung oras eh. For me kasi mina-maximize ko yung oras ko sa school. For example, may long breaks ako. Doon ako nag-aaral. Then para pagka nag-training ako, right after training, magre-rest na ako unless may papers, ganyan pa. Pero kung kailangan lang magbasa, then I do it within school hours.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you now. Ano yung course mo sa Ateneo? At bakit yun yung course mo? Kung hindi ka na magba-badminton, ano bang gagawin mo? So, anong course mo sa Ateneo?
I took up undergrad ng Interdisciplinary Studies, Management
Okay.
and Economics track. Then now I'm currently taking MBA.
Wow.
So first term pala.
Hirap dun ah.
A long way to go pa nga.
Alright. Well, favorite subjects mo in school so far?
So
At
far,
least yung sa undergrad mo.
yung sa undergrad, siguro yung mga philo subjects ng Ateneo, yan, nag-enjoy ako doon.
Na-apply mo na ba sa buhay?
Hindi. Okay lang, pwede. Pero it's a good experience din talaga.
Okay, earlier you talked about muscle memory. As we all know, badminton is a thoroughly demanding sport with all the jerking motions, the sudden lunges, and all that. How do you refrain from getting injured? Parang nakakatakot to eh. Recipe for disaster tong badminton.
Ako, I usually come to training around 30 minutes before training starts. Kasi
Okay.
gusto ko sobrang warmed up ka.
Nakapag-stretch ka.
Stretching, run a bit, then,
Okay.
then start warming up na talaga. Kasi if you don't, yung joints mo, yun yung masakit eh. Or
Wow.
yung kailangan kasi yung fluid sa knees mo nandoon na before you start lunging. Kasi kung hindi, magiging parang magkikis-kis siya sa bones.
Ouch.
Yan. So, ang sakit lang.
Right.
So, yun. Tingin ko, kailangan lang, it takes longer to warm up lang talaga sa badminton.
For this season, were we safe with, wala naman tayong injuries this past season for the Ateneo teams?
This past season, wala naman. But, may mga sore, hamstrings lang ganun.
I'm
But,
sure afterwards. No?
Afterwards, rest sila.
Pero worth it, di ba?
Yeah,
Worth it.
syempre.
Okay. Kwento mo para sa ating mga nanonood dyan, yung championship mismo. Is it like other sports where you have Final Four, then a best of 3 finals? How is it in badminton?
Sa badminton, one round robin.
Okay.
Then, if you sweep it, you get twice to beat advantage, but
Okay.
you have to beat your opponent twice. So, it's still a challenge.
It
diba?
is a challenge.
So, yeah, this season, we swept the elimination rounds.
Nice.
Yes. Then we went up against NU for the finals again. So yung first game, we dropped it
Oh.
2-3.
Wow.
We won the one singles and one doubles, then we lost the other 2 singles and 1 doubles. But then we strike back with a 3-0 win in the second game, then a 3-2 win in the last game.
Interesting. Is NU known as a badminton power?
Yes, I can say yes.
They are
kasi-
din, ah.
Because they're composed of national players talaga eh. Parang
Interesting.
lahat recruited by the national university, tapos mga national team yan. And I know all I know all of them dahil lagi ko sila nakakalaro sa rankings.
Wow, interesting. So, nung nanalo tayo, nag-sweep na, nung third na, nung nag-sweep, ano yung pakiramdam nun? Nung tapos na, nakuha niyo yung third win, describe the feeling out there for not just for yourself, but for your teammates?
Siguro yung deciding game kasi is my brother. So parang
Wow, all the more special.
yeah. So tapos ako yung coach kasama ko si Coach Kenny, nagko-coach sa brother ko. So nung nag-smash siya tapos di na nabalik in the final point, siguro I felt relieved na rin, tapos sobrang happy namin. Tapos nakita ko yung teammates ko talagang dinumog na si Justin.
Wow, that's such a sweet moment.
Sobrang sarap lang. Siguro sila kitang-kita ako na ginusto nila, tapos especially rookie, siguro parang inisip na gusto nila makuha to kagad the first season na pumasok sila para masabi na kami kasi 5 rookies tapos 3 veterans na kami natira.
Wow.
Ayun, so parang doon ko nakita na talagang gusto nila manalo.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Third championship ng men's, di ba?
Yeah,
Tama.
nung nandito ako, 2 championships.
Nakadalawa na. So, okay. How different is the first from the second championship that you've won?
Siguro,
Mas sweet ba?
mas sweet ito kasi parang masasabi ko na everybody contributed, not only me, parang ganun. Parang may factor ako, pero kung matalo yung doubles ko, may sumasalong yung teammates ko, parang ganun. Unlike nung sa first year, 4 lang kasi kaming parang top sa lineup namin eh. Parang ako, Justin, my brother, then Toby Gadi, then Paulo Sunga.
Si Paolo, yes.
Yeah. So, yun yung tapos at the end of the season parang lumalabas si Toby pa rin talaga yung nagpapanalo kasi 1 point kay Toby, 1 point dun sa doubles namin, then
Right.
1 point sa akin, parang gano'n. So, but then the whole season, walang talo si Toby sa singles. Ako, I lost 1 game sa finals. So, yun. So, tingin ko ito mas sweeter dahil ako at yung brother ko rin yung parang focus
That's a
this
very
time.
good story. Tapos marami pang challenges na wala nga si Toby,
Yeah.
namatay pa si Karen,
Yeah.
grabe. Okay, but Pawi, badminton is not considered a core sport in the UAAP, diba? It's like the focus is really on basketball and then volleyball after that. Is it difficult for you as an athlete, as a student athlete, na hindi napapansin yung sport? And na parang hindi rin, in terms of media, hindi rin siya masyado pinapansin, di ba? Mahirap pa for you guys playing badminton?
Medyo mahirap din kasi parang gusto ko rin naman yung support ng Ateneo community, ganyan. Pero past few years parang okay naman eh kasi nandoon na rin yung bubble, ganyan. Tapos talagang they are there kasi gusto nila mag-cheer, hindi kasi required sa kanila na mag-cheer, parang gano'n. So, siguro, doon pa lang, ako okay na ako. Pero, parang, syempre, gusto mo rin yung attention na binibigay sa
Yes.
basketball. Hindi mo mawawala yun, parang gano'n.
Well, that's why here at Blue Eagle 40, we want to give recognition to the other sports and the other athletes. No? Okay, you said you're taking up your MBA right now. Outside badminton, what do you plan to do? And if you in your badminton career, ano yan ba? Will you compete professionally? What's next?
So, after MBA, try to find a job, ganyan, siguro. But, I'd like to continue badminton through coaching siguro, if not given the opportunity to play it. Kasi, syempre, being practical and all, kailangan mo rin talaga magtrabaho na. But, given the chance, I want to coach din naman.
Okay. Pero, can someone actually make a career out of playing badminton? Is there good money from tournaments and even playing abroad?
So far, okay yung Philippine badminton system, ranking
Okay.
system. Good prize money, 70K pa rin yun.
Wow.
Then, yeah,
Alright.
winning the singles. But, it's not regular kasi. So,
Bakit hindi regular?
parang usually 2 times a year lang, ganyan.
Okay.
Before, it was 4. So, parang very good na talaga yung hatak sa badminton yun. Pero as time progresses, parang pabawas na.
Does it, is there the option of playing abroad? Like even for Toby, even Karen, they looked at that abroad, diba? Is that an option for you, Pawi?
Well, right now it isn't kasi hindi ako part ng national team.
Okay.
So, medyo mahirap para sa akin makalaro internationally. Pero kung bibigyan ako ng opportunity, why not? Parang gusto ko try.
Alright. You mentioned the national team. My last question, anong chances? Are you trying out for the national team?
Depending sa system nila, if they would allow me to train at my club pa rin. Kasi that's the only problem eh. Their training is far from Ateneo, which is a disadvantage for me. Unlike if I train in ABC, it's closer, di ba? But if you don't train with the national team, you're not considered a national team even if you're good.
Really? Wow.
Yeah,
So may politika rin eh. No?
Meron talaga rin.
Hindi niya sinabi, ako nagsabi. I will spare you from that. Alright, Pawi, any last words? Any final thoughts about this season and what you want to say to Ateneans about out there? Supportahin din naman yung badminton.
Siguro, para sa akin, give badminton a chance kasi
Yes.
sobrang exciting sport siya. Para every rally, parang it will take your breath away kasi you just hold it eh. Every time the shuttle is getting hit, ganyan. So, try it out. Kasi you don't know what you're missing. Yung yung excitement, yung makikita mo rin doon yung crowd, sobrang
Into the games.
into the games eh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tapos, para sa akin, yung hatak din siguro namin is the passion for the sport kasi nung UAAP talagang doon namin pinakita na gusto namin tong UAAP. Kasi besides from other regular tournaments, winning the UAAP is harder because it requires the team eh.
Yes.
Unlike in the individual tournament, ikaw lang, if you're good, then you can win the championship. But in the UAP, if only one person is good, then the others wouldn't win the other games, diba?
Right.
So for me, UAP is different from the other sports, other tournaments of badminton.
So there you have it, Pawi Natividad of the Ateneo Men's Badminton Team. Champions! Ito yung MVP. Pawi, maraming salamat. Nako,
Thank you.
bigyan natin tong isang one big fight at matinding palakpak for representing our school. Congratulations, that's a magnificent feat. So, when we come back on Blue Eagle 40, we're going to be talking to some of our friends from the judo team. So keep it right here. Welcome back to Blue Eagle 40. My name is Rick Olivares. For the second part of our episode 2 of the second sem, we have a representative from one of the 2 champion Ateneo teams of the first semester. This time, it's the judo team. And we have Matt Jao. Matt, welcome to the show.
Hi, guys.
All right. As I understand, Matt, your first time on the college team of Ateneo, you won the championship. That was during the tail end of the three-peat, that ended in 2010. And now, in your senior year, you're champions once more.
Yeah.
Ano feeling, pare?
Well, it's really great because the first year I came in, actually, ever since high school, I was already part of the UAAP team. And second year, third year, fourth year, we all won championships. And coming into college, first year, it was the three-peat for the men's team. It felt really great. It felt like we were on top. But second year, third year, we lost it. It really hurt. But then the guys never gave up. The team I was working with never gave up. And they gave it their all. And it all paid off in my last year. So.
Matt, I want to ask, I've heard so much about our program in the Ateneo High School. I hear it's also one of the best judo programs in the country. Talk about that. A lot of people are unaware of that fact.
Well, actually, I think it's actually one of the best programs in the country. Mostly because you have these boys competing against other people their age, but then we're not really sending in boys, you're sending in men. You're sending in people these kids who do weights, these kids who train as hard as the men's team do.
Just to be very clear, these kids are not overage, huh?
No,
they're
they're
not.
not. Yeah.
They're just the buff type dudes, right?
Exactly.
Okay. Ateneo is usually known for basketball and football. Uh, why judo? Why? How come Ateneo's all of a sudden become a power in the sport of judo?
I guess recently with the additional coaches that we've had, the training program's really improved. We've had coaches like Coach Ali, who's been here for 16 years. He's actually been my coach for the past 7 years now. And then we also have Coach Robert Divina, who's basically been part of the Philippine Judo ever since.
Okay.
He was actually the national team coach before. And then he moved on to start teaching kids. Then he
Right.
started teaching Ateneo. Then our other coach is Coach Gilbert Ramirez, who for me is actually the best judo player in the Philippines right
Wow.
now.
That's a
Yeah.
high compliment indeed. Okay, Matt. What exactly is your height? You look like you're a tall person. What's your height, pare?
I'm 6'2".
6'2". Why not basketball? Why judo?
Actually, when I was back in high school, I was a fat kid. I was 300 pounds, so I really hated running up and down the court. I
Okay.
couldn't jump,
Okay.
anything. It was horrible, and I guess basketball wasn't really for me.
Okay.
But when I moved to judo, I liked it. I liked the people. I liked the environment. It was like a family, and from then I lost weight. I'm not 300 pounds anymore. So yeah.
Well, that's good for you, right? Okay, but what about judo? What attracted you to the sport? Is it like, is there a club in the high school? Were they recruiting? You know?
There was actually a club, and
Okay.
when I went to high school, I decided I should change my ways. 'Cause I used to just play video games, sit on the couch, watch TV. Like, man, this is it. High school, I gotta change. So I joined the sport. And,
That's pretty deep thinking, man.
Yeah. I didn't want to do football because sun and running.
Okay.
I didn't want to do basketball because running again.
Okay.
So yeah, I was thinking about it. Then why not judo? I always like wrestling, WWE.
Okay.
And they said it's a lot like wrestling, so you should join judo.
Okay.
So yeah, I joined it. Then I like the org, the high school org. Then these guys from the judo team, high school team, they went up to me and recruited me because apparently they haven't had a heavyweight ever since.
Okay.
So yeah, that's when I started. Then they brought me in like I was family, and ever since then I never left.
Your parents, were they okay with this, getting into judo? Because the first thing that'll come to anyone's mind when it comes to martial arts, it's wow, that's pretty physical. Someone might get hurt.
At first they were kind of hesitant, but then they decided it was my choice, and I guess they were happy to get me off the couch. I was finally doing something.
So literal definition of the couch potato, man. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, the high school team then, it's been a decorated program. I think it's won a number of championships, right?
When I graduated, winning the four-peat. That was my fourth year. Then they won 2 more championships after
Yes,
that.
they kept it going, diba?
Yeah, but then last year they lost the championship, so they could have gotten the 7-peat and 8-peat this year. But this year, they came back stronger than ever. They changed their program. The kids were more motivated than ever, and they came off with winning all 7 gold weight divisions.
As I understand, a lot of our athletes from the high school have become desirable commodities. Are they being heavily recruited by other schools? And if they are, where do they normally go to? If not Ateneo.
Yeah, they actually are. There are lots of people who already whisper into the ears of the other athletes to join other schools. We have a scholarship for you, good education, everything, and mostly it's UP. Their VAAS program is very attractive to most athletes, especially if these students can't afford education.
Yeah, yeah. That's a bloody shame. No, that that scholarship, that's huge, right?
Yeah.
So let me ask you, coming from the high school, was moving up to the college, Ateneo College, an easy decision for you, given that a lot of our athletes are going also to other schools?
Yeah, it was for me. It was always Ateneo or never. I was actually thinking of studying architecture in UP or UST, but if I did, I always told myself that I'd never play judo for them, and that would end my judo career right there. But aside from loving the sport, I also wanted to stay in Ateneo. I wanted to graduate at Ateneo, so
Okay.
I stayed in the school.
So what course are you taking up right now?
I'm 4th year BS Comtech.
Okay. So how difficult is it being a student athlete, juggling the demands of the sport and the school at the same time?
Well, actually, this year it's really hard because aside from being captain of the judo team, I'm also part of the national team. I have a stall in JSEC, and I'm
Oh,
running.
nice.
Yeah, I'm running a business in Samba. My thesis is Samba.
Okay.
So yeah, it's been really hard juggling everything. Night classes all the time. I'd be out of the house by 6 a.m. Be home by
Wow.
10 p.m.
But I guess one of the trade-offs here is that you learn time management, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, let's go to that JSEC thing. How fun is that? That's got to be fun. That's a learning experience right there.
it's an experience.
Yeah.
Like, I never expected what it'd be like to actually hold a business, a food business. So I guess after everything, it was really cool to work with my friends to start a business and to actually see something and go, hey, that's mine. Hey, I'm running that.
And then when people are
and
buying,
people are
huh?
buying, you get even more happy and everything.
Right.
So yeah.
Right. Okay, some people say that it's not a good idea to put up a business with some friends, but in this case, it's working out for you guys. What's the secret right there?
I think it's just like any good relationship, you have to have really, really good communication. No walls, no boundaries or anything. You
No
guys
secrets, right?
No secrets. What you feel, you say, and you
And
talk
it's
it out.
transparency too, di ba?
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about that stall. What do you guys sell over there? For the benefit of our viewers out there, those, especially those alumni who are not able to go to Ateneo anymore.
I own a stall that sells dumplings. We're actually called Chow Chow.
Chow chow.
Yeah, and
Alright.
our mascot's a bear-looking Chow Chow. And it was mostly because we wanted to look for a cute mascot to put on our logo. And we were
Okay.
thinking about chow, Chinese food, like how you
Right,
eat.
right.
And repeat chow chow, you get a dog.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, aside from dumplings, we also sell viands like Hainanese chicken, sesame beef, spicy spare ribs. Our idea started out with dumplings, but then that didn't work out so well because people didn't really see dumplings as a full meal.
Oh yeah, exactly. That was my next question there. Okay, after college, and I think you have one more year to go. Am I right? Or are you graduating this March?
I'm graduating this March, but I'm not sure if I'm still gonna stay.
Okay. What are the plans for Chow Chow? Do you intend to continue that after college?
That's something we're gonna talk about after we graduate. It's something that when we started everything, it's something we definitely wanted to pursue and to continue after college. But if things change or some people feel differently, then or some of my group mates feel differently, then we're gonna have to talk about it.
Right. So for all those Ateneans who've already graduated, in case mapadang kayo dito sa Loyola Heights ulit, you might want to pass by JSEC. It's actually like, for lack of a better term, the mall here in Ateneo, where you have students putting up their own businesses. There's a lot of good stuff out there. So check them out and also Chow Chow. So Matt here will give me a free meal. Matt,
Pwede, yeah.
balik tayo dun sa judo ngayon.
Okay.
This tournament, you said the last couple of years the team faltered and all that. Were we seeded this year? And what was the competition like?
This year, coming from last year we actually didn't place. We were fourth. We weren't on the podium.
Interesting.
This year, I guess the competition was pretty tough. It was a close call after the first day with UP. I think UP, we were up by 2 points from the medal tally against UP. And halfway through the day, it was the medal matches. It was make or break. You'd see all the Ateneo fighters were going against UP people. And if we'd lose one or lose two, that would lose a championship. But then, in the end, all of them pushed through.
Were you going up against some of your high school teammates?
No.
Buti na lang.
Yeah, that would be hard.
That would be hard. Yeah, that's true. But okay, the judo competition, it's one day, right? It's one day. Tama ba? One day lang siya.
It's a 2-day event, but
Okay.
a weight division will be played out through 1 day long.
All right.
Yeah.
So you train all year round for one tournament.
Yeah.
Are there any other tournaments that the Ateneo men's judo team competes in?
There are the smaller tournaments held by the different schools, but I guess the biggest tournament within the country would be nationals.
Uh-huh.
And actually, the last nationals, the men's team actually brought home lots of medals.
Wow, nice.
We got one national championship, the open weight national championship, a couple of junior national championships, and many silver and bronze national medalists.
Nice. Let's talk about the women's team now. And how did our women's team do?
It was actually the best year for the women's team we've ever had. The women's team hasn't been on the podium for the past 3 or 4 years, I think. And now they're back on the podium at second place.
That's a wonderful achievement.
We came off with 2 gold medals.
Wow.
I think 1 silver medal and 4 bronze medals. It was actually really close because the medal tally for the women's and the women's team, the Ateneo women's team, and the UE team were exactly the same. So they had the exact same points, same number of golds, exact same number of silvers, exact same number of bronzes. But in the end, it came up to who won the fastest, and Ateneo had the fastest win.
Wow.
So
Okay. If our men's team, a lot of them are coming up from the high school, and a lot, but
yeah.
what about the women's team? That's a pretty interesting one. And how do we get them in? Considering that more, as I said earlier, martial arts, it's not an easy sport for many girls to get into.
Yeah. For the women's team, we're not going to lose that much athletes this year. We're just losing 2 athletes. But the thing is, it's the 2 athletes who won the 2 golds.
Yikes.
So it's
Big
gonna
shoes
be,
to fill in.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. But I guess the best that we can do as a team is to go up to the girls one by one. If they look athletic or they look like they might want to. Like, usually the freshmen. Freshmen are like, I need a place to belong. I need to look for a place.
Okay,
I need
okay.
a group. I need a group. And people approach.
You ever think of holding demonstrations on on first day of classes and all that for everyone to see that?
We actually do during ORSEM in April.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
You get any recruits from there?
We had some inquiries, but then they never followed through.
Oh my, wow. All right, so that's food for thought for Coach Ali and the others, right?
Yeah.
Matt, talk about this. I'll go back again to this season. What was, you started out when you were a freshman, you had a lot of very good athletes and mga seniors who brought that three-peat. Now that you're captain, was there pressure on you to lead this team back to glory?
Definitely. I was also captain last year, and
That's motivation na.
yeah, and I was thinking that was the year. That was the year we're gonna bring it back, and mainly because I was 122 kilos back when I was in second year. That was my playing weight, so that was heavyweight, and I was gonna surprise everyone by moving down weight division, losing 24
Wow.
kilos around, and I made it. Then I was thinking this is the year. I won the gold, but then we fell short as a team. The year after that, I was more motivated than ever to push the guys to to tell them to give it their all, to motivate them, and yeah, I guess the pressure is really big, but then I guess it all paid off.
Yes, it did. Okay, susundutan ko lang yan. Sabi mo yung inclination mo to get into judo also came from watching the WWE, of which I'm also a fan. Is there an inclination for those taking up judo to get into mixed martial arts?
I guess so. I mean, there are a couple of judo athletes who are also famous MMA fighters. I think one would be Ronda Rousey.
Yes.
Ronda Rousey's actually Olympic bronze medalist back
she
in
is.
2004, 2008. I forgot which one. Aside from her, there's also the Korean Zombie. I think he's also a judo black belt. And there's also Caro Parisian, who used to
Yes,
play before,
uh-huh.
and a number of other people. So I guess internationally, there are lots of athletes who move up to MMA. But so far, I'm not so sure about within the Philippines.
Let's confine it to Team Ateneo. Meron ba? Meron ba sa atin? Or even in the recent years, moving up to MMA?
There were a couple of guys who wanted to try it out, but then they never pushed through, and they ended up just going for Muay Thai. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Matt, you're graduating this March, no? Talk about your entire stay in Ateneo. Talk about it. I'm sure that it hasn't flashed in front of your eyes just yet because medyo malayo-layo pa yung March, di ba?
Yeah.
Pero as you've wrapped up practically your UAAP career, how does it feel?
I guess
This is a sentimental moment, man.
Yeah. Oh, my God, no.
I'm trying to make you cry right here.
Well, I guess it was like poetry. Na you win the championship your first year, you lose it, then your last year you win it back. It was something else.
What a great way to end it, right?
Exactly. And I guess college and my stay in Ateneo college was really a time for me to find myself and everything, to grow up, to mature, and the fact that Coach Ali gave me the title of being captain forced me to actually step up and to be a better person, be a better leader, be a better athlete.
So what do your parents say now to everything that you have accomplished? Lalo na, nasa national team ka pa.
My parents don't really give much attention to my sports. Whenever I win, they say, "Na, good job, I'm proud of you." That's really much it. They're more proud of me for the businesses and everything, because I think that's where they want me to go to after.
Well, they're right also.
Yeah.
But it's, for what it's worth, pare, for me, I'll speak personally. I'm not going to speak for Ateneo. Congratulations, and I'm proud of what you've accomplished for the school.
Thank you.
Matt, any last words before we wrap up this episode of Blue Eagle 40? Anything you want to say about whether it's the judo competition or susundatan mo lang yung stay mo dito sa Ateneo? Anything?
I guess for those people who want to try judo, don't be afraid. It's something else. At first, and I know it's scary. It's people throwing people, arm bars, chokes, and things. But
Not exactly the most encouraging.
I know, but it's fun. It's something else. You can't. Who else can say that they went up against another person? They fought someone. Or not really. Yeah, just went up against another person, not fought. I'm sorry, I'm so bad at this.
That's okay.
Anyway, I guess a couple of last words. I want to thank my team. I
Yeah.
want to thank my coaches. I want to thank the Ateneo for my amazing stay here.
Yes.
And of course, I want to thank God for being there with me, for pushing me through everything, and for giving me the opportunity to show what I can do to the school and to the community.
As the sign on Matt's shirt says, OBF. So there you have it. Matt Jao, captain of the Ateneo men's judo team. Congratulations and thank you for being on the show. It's good to
Yeah, no
have you here,
problem.
man.
Thank you, sir.
All right, so that's it for us for this week in Blue Eagle 40. When you come back next week, we're going to be having volleyball and the new coach of the Ateneo Lady Eagles basketball team, Erica D. So thank you for watching. For everyone at the Office of PR and Communications, this is Rick Olivares saying thank you and one big fight.